Hello guys, first of all I'm going to give you a disclaimer that you might be hearing a lot of noise because I'm recording this video when children are back at home. So the holidays are here and so there are children in the background. Today we are talking about the cancer that destroys friendships, and these principles applies in relationship, but my core focus is friendship. But at the end of the day, even when you're in a relationship, even when you're in a friendship, rather, it's a relationship. So the principles apply. If you're joining me for the very first time, my name is June Anolua, and on this channel, I share on emotional wellness. I talk about tech. I talk about how to earn, entrepreneurship, and then I talk about soft skills, lifestyle, just things like that. For example, I made this myself, but don't worry, we're not going to talk about hair today. We are talking about friendship. So, what are some of those things that can destroy friendship? I'm a Christian and I believe that there is such a thing as covenant relationships, meaning that God can intentionally arrange a certain person to come into your life as your friend. Sometimes it might be for a season, sometimes it might be for quite long, sometimes it might be lifetime. But I really pray and hope that when we do find a friend or a person, maybe even your partner, as the case may be, who is a covenant relationship, may we not fall for these cancers that destroy them. So I wrote them down here so that we can keep to time and go straight to it. So the very first point, okay, before I go into the very first point, I'd like you to like this video. It means a lot to me, and I want you to share and I want you to subscribe. I'm a YouTuber and I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. I want to reach a lot of views and I want to earn even on YouTube, right? So this is the way you can support me. This is the way to show me that you actually appreciate what I'm doing. This is the way for you to show me some love, and this is the way to let me know that you're learning and benefiting from these things. If you remember, there was a time that for a while I was not doing anything on YouTube, but I'm back again. So encourage me. I need the encouragement. Okay, let's get to it. The very first thing that destroys relationship, friendship relationship, marital relationship is competition. The moment you find yourself in a state where you're competing with another person, you're beginning to feel like this person is getting ahead of me. If you don't deal with that, that relationship will die. And mind you, you may not even intentionally try to do those things. They just come as thoughts. They just come as thought that, oh, so because he's now gaining this award or getting this award, the person can even call me, right? Subtle things like that comes, and before you know it, because there's that flesh, that self that is involved, that maybe you're feeling like you're laid back or you're not doing some of the things you're doing. Oh, why is this person the one getting all the award, getting all the recognition, and I seem to be here? In those times, if a person is not matured emotionally and spiritually, you might fall for competitiveness, which can cause a cancer in that relationship. And at the same time, for a person who is also a friend, I think it is also wisdom and emotional intelligence to know how to also share some of your successes around the person that is currently struggling. We also need to submit ourselves to the Holy Spirit, be discerning and know things to share and things not to share. And sometimes there are things you might want to share and the Holy Spirit might tell you, don't share this thing because this thing at this time will only rub it in rather than be something that will be celebrated. So at the end of the day, we all need to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit, but we need to check ourselves. Right now, are you competing with your friends? The friends in your life right now, are you competing with them or are you supportive? Deep down in your heart, are you already feeling like, okay, why is it that this person is getting everything? Or this is the litmus test. This is the litmus test. When you see your friend celebrating a new win, they just graduated from something, they just bought the house, they just gave birth to a child, they just got married, how do you feel? What are the first set of feelings that come? Mind you, there are times that you might sincerely feel like, okay, you're not doing as good as you should be in your life. But it should not also stop you from recognizing the goodness of God in the life of a friend or a person you're in a relationship with. You might truly genuinely be in a state where you don't feel like things are going on well with you, but it should never ever stop you from at least thanking God and celebrating or congratulating another person who is seemingly doing better with their life. But you see, the day we come to realize that there is nobody that is immune from challenges in this life. So table turns. So for now, you might be the one that is undergoing maybe a challenging time and it looks as if this is your friend, everything is working well for them. Well, table will turn one day. Nobody is permanently in that high, positive, excited, celebratory mood permanently in their life. Everybody, as long as you're a human being on earth, people face challenges. So there is no need for competition because it's just a season. And like I heard AJS say, there is no challenge that does not have an expiry date. I heard that at a very, very strategic time in my life, and it really helped me. There is nothing you're going through that will not end. So the sleepless night, the competition, it just wants to kill the gift that God has given you. So don't let it. This is one of the major way that many covenant, positive, great relationship has been destroyed. Competition. And so if you find out that you're a person who find it difficult to celebrate the win in your friend's life, you might want to take it as a personal project with the Holy Spirit, because if the Holy Spirit does not deal with that thing, if you remain like that at friendship level, when you get married, you will do the same thing to your spouse. If you don't deal with the ability to rejoice with other people's progress and success, when you get married, your spouse will suffer from it. And unfortunately, if you have children in that state, you will also pass it on to them, because your children will see your reaction around your friend's victory or around your spouse's victory, and they will pick it up, because is the flesh. And if it is not dealt with, if it is not brought to death, you will do it to your spouse, you will do it to your children, and you perpetuate the same thing that is wrong. So if you're still single, or even let's say you're even married, whatever the case may be, make it a personal project. If you find out that you find it difficult to celebrate your friends, make it a personal project to take it up with God. It's a major thing that God needs to deal with in your life. So the next point, wow, this noise is a lot. The next point, I'm so sorry guys, the next point is gossip. If a person is your friend, you consider a person a friend, or you consider a relationship as a relationship you value, now this can be marital relationship or any other kind of solid relationship, you should not condone gossip. You should not, people should not be able to discuss your friend around you. If a person can discuss your friend or a person or your spouse around you in a negative way, it also reveals something about you. It reveals that you yourself, you've not communicated to people how much you prioritize this person in your life. A person should not be able to comfortably gossip your best friend or your highly esteemed relationship in front of you. So the fact that you can stay and they are gossiping about a person you consider your best friend, right? They are saying wrong things about the person and you cannot correct them or defend your friend, shows that your friendship placement is not yet right. Because if you are truly loyal to your friend, if you truly value and prioritize your friend and your relationship, people should not have the audacity to say some things in front of you about them. And if they even make that mistake, you should put them in their place. You should check them straight immediately. You don't say this about my friend. What you just said is not true. And if they want to continue, you walk out. That is how to show that you're loyal to your friend. But the moment they are saying things about your friend, maybe somewhere in your heart, you agree with them, right? You now stay, you may, man, and you're just listening to them, they are bashing your friend, and you're listening to them, you're not defending your friend, but you are condoning, because somewhere in your heart, you kind of agree with them. That is the beginning of the downfall of that friendship or relationship, because you have allowed an external force to tint the purity of that friendship. So never give in to gossip. Don't allow yourself to come to a place where you say the wrong things about your friend. And even if that happens, if by mistake, if by any chance that happens, tell your friend about it. Tell your friend that, actually, I found myself in the midst of these people and see what they said. And in retrospect, I felt I should have even defended you, but I didn't do that. And I'm sorry. That's the right thing to do. So, but if you condone the gossip and you are not open, you don't open up about it, a seed has been sown. And until that seed is uprooted, it will take roots down, it will yield fruit. Suddenly you just see that you are reacting to your friend or the person you are in a relationship with in a manner that is not right. What has happened? A seed has been planted. You stayed around it. It was watered. Then it took roots down, it germinated, and it started bearing fruit. And before you know it, you are blaming your friend for the wrong things. You are coming to wrong conclusions about them. And you are doing things that is not right. So never condone gossip against your friend, and then in the case of relation, against the person you claim to be in a relationship with. Not to now talk of marriage. Never, never. You should never condone the wrong things being said about your spouse. The next point on equal investedness, right? It is important that in friendship there is equal vestedness. Don't exert too much beyond what your capacity can take. Because when you expend yourself, especially for us as women, when we expend ourselves excessively and we feel we are not getting it back in return, our reaction is to just shut down. For most women, maybe not every woman. So I would advise you that in your friendship, review your life, review yourself. Are you expending yourself too much? Don't expend yourself overly beyond your capacity. If you truly can't be at an event, be upfront about it. I'm sorry, I cannot be at this event today. I'm sorry, I missed your birthday, but this and this and this was what was going on with me. And of course, it has to be legit reason, because there should be no reason why you should miss being at your friend's maybe birthday party or something. But if for whatever reason you cannot make it to the birthday, at least you can have a call or send a text message. That is also fine, right? So the idea is just ensure that you're not over investing yourself in a relationship beyond your capacity. Your friend is getting married, you don't have the money to buy their shop. Be upfront. I'm sorry, some other financial responsibilities came at this time. I cannot go ahead to do Ashobi, but I promise to support you in whichever way I can. That is it. But if you now go out of your way to do certain things, and those friends are not now going out of their ways to do those kind of things for you, you might feel like, oh, I've done a lot for this person is not doing the same for me. So don't, know your own boundaries, know where your own lines are, and feel free to draw it. It's okay. Don't overexpend yourself. The next point is lack of communication of unmet expectations. So if you have a friend or you're in a relationship, make sure you're able to communicate unmet expectations. As long as two people are involved, two or more people are involved in anything, whether friendship or relationship, there'll be error, there'll be mistakes, because we are human. And we human beings, we make mistakes. The other day I was on Twitter, TikTok, and somebody talked about something that was, I found it profound. And the person made reference to the story of the covenant between God and Abraham, and that at that time when you make a covenant, after killing those animals, you walk into the, you put those bodies on the floor, and then you walk in the middle, and signifying that if you fail to carry out your own part of the covenant, you will pay a price. But when we see what happened in the scripture, God made Abraham to sleep, right? And a fire walked around that, meaning that God said even if Abraham falters on the side of the covenant, God will pay for it, right? So in that case now, how did I get it? Lack of communication of unmet expectations. Okay, so in that case now, Abraham, God knew that Abraham would not be able to meet up with, Abraham would never ever be perfect, right? So you need to have it in mind that this person you're in a relationship with, or this person you call your friend, will never be perfect. They will make mistakes. You have to prepare yourself emotionally and psychologically for that. That your friend will make mistakes. And so when they do make those mistakes, communicate it. Let your friend know, oh, I don't like the fact that you could not make it to my birthday party, but thank you for sending a message or calling me. At least thank you for doing that, but I really, really wish you attended my birthday party. So communicate or meet expectations. Oh, this and that happened, and that didn't happen from your hand. I felt like, as my friend, you could have done better. It's to communicate. Not that you'll be bottling it up and keeping it. If it bothers you, communicate. Me as a person, there are many things I explain away for people. I do that and I just let it go. Maybe because of my own tendencies, right? But then when I feel like I cannot explain something away, I will confront you about it. So you can also do the same. If the same thing keeps troubling your mind, it keeps bothering you, you can see that it is causing a strain on that relationship, go ahead and talk to your friend about it or your partner. Tell them, okay, this thing happened the other day and I'm not okay with it. Can you tell me what happened from your own end? And more often than not, when you do this, you will eventually identify something you were not seeing. By the time they explain their own side of the story, you will get to understand that you didn't have the full picture. Because there are many times that we draw conclusions about things. When you now hear what the other person has to say, you know that, oh, you know. So there are many things we blame our friends for, we blame people for, until you hear what they have to say, you now realize that, you didn't really have the knowledge of the full picture. So many times the enemy also use this to destroy great relationship. Don't let that happen. So if something happens that you're not okay with in your relationship and you cannot overlook it, talk about it. Find the best time to talk about it. Because every time is not a good time to talk about something that is difficult. Ensure that you study the atmosphere, and it's also a good time to initiate that conversation. Yeah, the next one is unrealistic expectations, right? So while it is also important to communicate unmet expectations, I've seen people that have unrealistic expectations, really, right? In friendships, friends should support each other, friends should be there for each other, but your friend will not always be there like 100%. The same way you cannot be 100% available for your friend. You need to cut your friend or your partner some slack, because your friend or your partner has a life outside you. So I've seen people who hold their friends to really high standard that I personally, just me, will feel it is too high. Like literally. The way some people place demand on their friends, I'm like, really? I don't do that. I don't, maybe because of my own personality, like I said, I don't put any burden on anybody. And so I don't expect the same. So if you put burden on me, if you try to burden me beyond what I feel is right, I would confront you about it. But unfortunately, it is not everybody that have my kind of personality. There are some persons that, they have the tendency to go ahead to continue doing something, even when, they are here, literally. I can be like that some way, but I'm no longer that person. I'm well over that, right? I'm very confident and I know when to say no. But there are many people who do not know how to say no. So I want to encourage you not to have unrealistic expectations. Cut your friend some slack. When they make mistake, accept it that even you can make the same mistake. They didn't show for your birthday party. Okay. They did not show for your wedding. Okay. Have you asked them what happened? Did you know what was going on with them? I know there might be some cases or some excuse that does not carry weight, right? But there are legit reasons that might really carry weight. So, for example, what if that friend has an accident? Or what if that friend just lost a family member? How do you expect them to be at your wedding or at your birthday, right? So there might be some extreme situations that may not come to your mind. That may be the reason why your friend is that way, or maybe your friend just feels, maybe you feel they've reclined, or they are not available to talk as they used to. That's actually a time to ask. If you know a friend that used to do a particular thing before and they stopped, that is why you are there. Ask them what is going on with you. You don't know what they are dealing with. People are dealing with things privately. And like I always say, forget what people post on social media. Forget what people post on their status. Forget seeing people eating or doing new hair or fixing nails or doing makeup. No. For some persons, that is even a coping mechanism. Some persons are just posting those pictures, posting those videos as a coping mechanism for something deep that they are going through. For many people, it is a coping mechanism. So if you do sense that something is going on with your friend, don't look at what they are posting on social media. Ask them, check up on your friend, because sometimes you might have a friend that might, come up to you and tell you, oh, this is what I'm going through. But there are some other persons who don't like sharing what they are going through, that you might actually need to press them to ask them what is going on with them. And this is why you also need to understand the kind of friend you have. What is their personality type? Is this person an introvert or an extrovert? An introvert may not like going out. An extrovert is the person that will always want to go out. So personality plays out. You might have a friend and you're like, this my friend does not even like going anywhere. She does not like visiting me. She just prefers phone calls. That is the personality at work. They are not intentionally not wanting to be available, to be unavailable. Their personality is playing out. And finally, on this note, I want to also remind you that as a friend, you cannot change your friend. You can influence a friend, but your job and your office as a friend or even as a partner in a relationship is not to change anybody. You cannot change anybody. If you don't like what you have, leave it. You either take what you have or leave what you have. So if you find out that you call a person your friend and this person, to a very large extent, does not fit into the spectrum of what you define as friendship, let it go. Stop trying to change a person into what you want. There is somebody that fits your criteria of a friendship somewhere. What you just need to do is to pray for God to order their steps to you, right? And this works for relationship. Don't enter a relationship with a person and want to change the person. Don't wear earring, don't wear makeup, don't wear wig, don't fix your nail, don't wear nose ring, don't. If you don't like what you have, leave the person. So because for many people, they come into a friendship or even a relationship and they want to change everything about the person. No, that is not your job. That is not your role. You can influence your friend, you can advise your friend, or maybe give them some sort of counsel, but you cannot change your friend or even your partner. It is a coach that, or you're a coach, yes, to some extent, who has that office of trying to help a person change, right? Which at the end of the day, that coach can only try to help. At the end of the day, the person that wants to change has to make up their mind that they want to change. No matter what you do, no matter the principles, the assessment, the sessions, the therapy or whatever, no matter what you go through, if you don't make up your mind that you yourself want to change, nobody can change you. But we know that coaches have that office, like they can provide you tools that can help you carry out or become a new person or change whatever it is you want to change. But as a friend, you are not a coach. So don't try to coach your friend. You can advise, you can counsel, but that is all. So if there is something about your friend you don't like, keep praying, keep trusting God, keep talking to them. But this is a major thing a lot of people need to know. Your office as a friend is not the office of changing anybody, because in actual sense you cannot change anybody. Anybody that wants to change have or has to make up their mind that they want to change. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince and not confuse you that these are some of the cancers that can kill strong friendships and even relationship. I want to implore you to pray for your friends. Pray for your friends. Pray for your friends, because at the end of the day, we need each other. And like I said, we make mistakes. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. Your friend is not perfect. So if there is anyone you need to go have a conversation with, that, okay, I'm sorry I engaged myself in a conversation that I should not have engaged myself in. Go do that. If there's somebody you need to send a message that, okay, I did not tell you this, but you did this, and this the other day, and I'm not happy about it. And I just thought to tell you, go do that. Go do that. Or maybe you are the one who even needs to apologize. Go do the apology. So any relationship that you know that God has sent into your life, mend it. Think about the good things that happened to you as a result of that friend that came into your life. For example, I have a friend that I met during my master's. She made me open Instagram. I cannot forget that. I have another friend who used to give me clothes when I was in secondary school. My husband, secondary school, this is over 15 years ago. But my husband knows the story. I tell my husband that, do you know that this is my friend? She gave me clothes when I was in secondary school, because those clothes were my best clothes at that time. I cannot forget her. And when she was to wed, on my own, I paid for my transport fare. I traveled to Ilorin for our wedding, stayed with her for a full week, right? Because I was vested in that relationship, because I still remember how good she was to me when we were in school. Because those clothes she gave me were my best clothes. So I still remember that till tomorrow. So think about the things. Some of you, God sent you a person who was a person that introduced you to something new that you never thought you could ever do. God gave you a friend that encouraged you in your very, very low moments. Don't allow the devil now blind your eyes from seeing those good things those friends did for you because of their little mistakes. Because even you have made mistakes, and you don't know how much mistakes you have made that that friend has overlooked. Because these two friends that I talked about now, they've done one or two things. Well, I mean, I'm not even sure I've ever had to tell them that, oh, do you know you did this, because I just overlooked it and I moved on, and they are still my friends. So which or who are the friends that you've cut off because of some of these things? This might be some of the things you might want to evaluate and look into in this new year, because there are some friends that you might really, or some friendships that you might need to reignite again. Don't allow the enemy use these cancers to destroy the friendships that God has blessed you with. And finally, I just want to say that if you have a friend, support your friend. Support your friend. Be a supportive friend. It is a red flag when you cannot support your friend. And this applies in relationship. If you are in a relationship and the person you claim to be in a relationship with is not excited about your vision or the things you plan to do, run for your life. I personally, I cannot condone a friend that cannot be supportive when I'm doing something great. I don't like friends that are only there for me when I'm down. I want a friend that is there for me when I'm down, and a friend that is there for me when something good is happening to me. It is easy to find a friend who can support you in your low moments, but what about friends who are genuinely excited for you when something great is happening in your life? So you want people to be happy for you, to support you, but have you also done the same to your friends? Do you support your friends? Do you show up for your friends when something good is happening to them? This one is a major destroyer of relationships. So review it. And if you have that problem, take it to God in prayer. Let God deal with it in your life. Because if it doesn't, you will continue to lose great friendships that God will bring your way. Because at the end of the day, it has to be a win-win. Both this person and this other person have to be vested in the relationship. So support your friends. If you've been lacking in supporting your friends, this word is coming your way now so that you can do that. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and you can even share this to your friend. And this might be the platform or the word that might bring reconciliation to that friendship or relationship. So share this to a friend, share this to a group, share this on your WhatsApp status, and thank you for staying true to the end. Let me know in the comments one or two things that you've learned from this video, or some of the things I've shared that you have been applying as an individual that has worked for you. Let us know in the comment section, and see you next time. Bye.